in, came in and said, "Hey, look at this." Wasn't even old enough to buy a can of dip. But man, he was proud of that can. Dad bought it for me. I'm a grown up now. Pastor Ben had kind of turned down and says, "Come on, man. This doesn't make you a grown up. This doesn't make you mature." And like I said, if our kids are getting a false sense of what maturity, they think maturity looks like. And we wonder why our churches are not as powerful as they used to be. Because they're full of children that just refuse to grow up. Let me ask you a question. What's going to be your rite of passage, church? Where you say it's time to grow up, it's time to leave these things behind. It's time to make better decisions. Maybe all the motivation you need today is realizing that it's all yours. It's all on you to holding up until you grow up. God's waiting for you to grow up. It's not you waiting on God. It's God waiting on us to quit being children and act like children. I mean, maybe I'm naive, but I just think the God of the Bible, the one that raised Lazarus from the dead, we can still experience that God today. Maybe I'm naive, but I just think the God that Elisha prayed a little 60, somewhere around 60 word prayer, and God sent fire down from heaven. I still believe we can experience that God today. Yes. I believe that the God that performed miracles, the supernatural, I believe we can still experience that today. But not if we won't grow up. Right. Here's the fact. God has not changed. He's waiting on us to change. Right. He's ready when we are. He's ready when you are. Maybe, just maybe, your life is kind of on hold because you don't want the responsibilities of being an adult because you're really enjoying being a child right now. Galatians 4:2. Paul says this, "But when they reach the age the Father said, they are what? Free." Man, we love that freedom part, don't we? Yeah. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. We love that. We love singing about it. But we need to understand that with freedom comes responsibilities. Yes. And what happens is we run from those responsibilities. And in the process of running from those responsibilities, we lose the very freedom that He's offering us. Because we don't want to accept the responsibility of that freedom. You want to be free? Truly free? You have to quit making child decisions and start making adult decisions. I call it Adulting 101. Adulting 101. There are a couple things that you need to do. First thing is this. An adult takes responsibility for their choices. And quit blaming everything else and everybody else. Bob here taught Wednesday night. And Bob talked about if anybody had a reason, had an excuse to say, you know what, this is the path I'm going. He said, I had that excuse. But I made choices that got him where he was today. You see, we can blame how we were raised, our background, where we come from, we're this. We can blame the president. We can blame law enforcement. We can blame teachers. But here's the fact. There is one thing that cannot be taken away from you. That is your choice. You have a choice to make better decisions. But instead we like to blame people. But if you're going to be an adult, you've got to take responsibility for those choices. When you're a child and you make stupid choices, your parents can kind of protect you from the consequences of those choices. But as an adult, you understand, hey, choices have consequences. I've got to own them. Second, an adult takes responsibility for their relationships. So when you're a child, you don't have to really go through the pros and cons and weighing out. Like at 5 years old, you're on the playground. Pros and cons of playing with Joe over there. Those are God's plans. No, let me say this. Your parents should be watching over who you're hanging out with, who you're spending time with. But as an adult, it is your responsibility who you're hanging out with. It is your responsibility who you're allowing to get close to you. It is your responsibility for who all is in your phone, who all is on your friends list. It's your responsibility. You have to take ownership of those who you allow to influence you. I mean, parents, adults, you ever given a kid $20 and just say, or do you give them, you say, hey, listen, I want to buy you an ice cream. Ice cream, remember when the ice cream truck used to come around? So, you know, I tell you what, you give them a 20, go buy you an ice cream and come back. And they go buy them an ice cream, and you know, even if they bought two, at most it's $3 or $4. So you should be getting some change back, right? So he comes back all smiling, he got his ice cream out, and you're like, okay, where's my change? What do you mean? You gave that to me. That's mine? No. I'm going to pay for you to get an ice cream. I want my change back. And they start pouting and crying. And I said, I don't care if you cry. I still want my change back. Here's the problem in church. We do that. We want God to bless us. We want God to pour it out upon us. We want God to move, but then we get offended when He expects something back from us.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We get offended. We get offended when Pastor Tim or somebody gets up here and takes the offering and talks about tithe. I'll say like Erwin. I heard Erwin McManus. I haven't played it, saved and played it for my wife. And I had not planned on saying it, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. So if you're visiting, yeah, this is the way I feel. Erwin said this. He said, listen, I get tired of people that don't giving their opinions.
Come on.
He said that I'll talk to them. And he said, they'll be like, well, these people have been going to church 10, 15 years. And they'll be like, well, you know, Pastor, I just don't know if I trust the church. He said, I'm thinking, you've been going 10 years, so what you're basically saying is this. You trust us enough to receive from us, but you don't trust us enough to give. And you should be far more concerned with who you're receiving from than who you're giving to.
Come on.
I'm like, yes and amen. Put that on my playlist. I'm going to make me a sample song out of it. I don't like it. But here's the issue. A lot of us have gotten into a pattern of getting away with childish behavior. We've gotten away with it, so we think God must be all right with it. I knew it was going to be fun, but I think it's going to be this fun to preach. What do you mean? I mean, when you were a child, you were impatient. But God kept working in you and through you, right? When you were a child, you were selfless or selfish. And life was about you. You were stingy. I want. But God kept working in your life, right? I mean, when you were a child, you didn't forgive easy. You held a grudge, but God kept working in you and through you, right? It's not because He was okay with those behaviors. It was that He was being patient with you.
Amen.
I'll stay with you. There's some of you just keep slipping back into the same sin. Keep falling back into that destructive pattern. And God keeps working in you, and God keeps showing up. And you may have even thought, well, you know, God must be okay with it then. He's still working in me. He's still working. He's still there. But it's not that He's okay with it. He's just being patient. People will say, well, PK, why don't you guys preach on sin more? It's easy because our people are really good at it already. I don't need to preach on it. They're really good at sin. And here's my point. If week after week I have to stand up here and tell you what you should or shouldn't do, I'm speaking to children. But adults don't need somebody up here trying to make them feel bad about what they're doing. Adults need somebody up here sharpening them and tell them, hey, this is what you need to go. This is what you need to do.
Amen.
There's this thing where some of you, you're in a dark place right now. You've got some things going on that you know you shouldn't be living in that lifestyle. You know you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be saying that. But things are good. Life's okay. Things are great. And you think God's blessing is on it or God's okay with it. But it's not that you're living under His the blessing or grace. You're living under His patience. And there comes a time when you have to move out from just living under His patience and grace where you're living under His blessing because He trusts you now. Are you with me? Grace, man, I swim in grace. There comes a time when we got to quit using that as a crutch. Begin to grow and mature.
That's right.
And get those things. Let me in. What does God want to do in your life? Bob, you'll come on up. What does God want to do in your life or through your life right now that He's just waiting for you to put away some childish things? What does God want to do in your life, through your life? He's just waiting for you to grow up. And what is it? What does God want to do that He's just waiting for you to step up and take responsibility and be that man, that woman of God that you were made to be? You see, we've got so many new babies here at the church and more on the way. Right now, their diet consists of milk. Milk. That's their diet. And they have to rely on mama or daddy to make sure they get fed. And if they're hungry, what do, Tiffany? They cry. They make noise. That's okay at that age. 5, 10, 15 years old. Their main diet is still milk. They're still making noise because they need somebody to put the food in their mouth. They've not developed properly. They've not matured properly. You know, it's one thing my dad used to say. He said, people come to me and say, well, you know, Pastor, we're leaving. I'm just not getting fed. So what you're saying, you may need to pick it up. Here comes the choo-choo tray. Open up. And I understand that to a point. But there comes a time in your own walk where you don't need pastor to give you a word. Because you've got in the Word, God has spoken to you directly.
That's right.
Now, I'll say this, I believe in prophets. I believe that God still uses people to speak into our lives. But I believe God also wants to speak to us directly.
That's right.
There comes a time when you need solid food. Because only solid food you're going to develop properly. Your muscle going to start to grow. You're going to start to fill out. As long as you're on milk, as long as you're crying out, you'll never become what God intended you to be. It's time to grow up. Why? Because you're not waiting on God. He's waiting on you. Stand with me across this.
That's right. Thank you, Lord Jesus. That's the best sermon I've ever heard in my whole life.
See,
Yeah, it is.
here's a fact. You're always God's child. Always. But you're not supposed to stay a child. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Like Zion and Sheridan and Kennedy, they're always going to be my children. Always. I don't care how old they get, they're always going to be my children. I don't need to stay a child. Denise said, I said, are you sad because it's just going to be me? I think it is because she knows it won't be just naked room, it'll be naked house. I can roll over the house. I don't need just a room, it's a whole house now. Free reign. But I'm going to tell you, if my kids are not growing, learning how to take care of themselves, I failed as a dad. Something's wrong. I'm telling you, church, the harvest in our communities is ripe. There's so many broken people in our communities. Amen. So many broken people even in here right now. But so many more outside these walls. And we can pray for revival, but I believe it's a blessing of God when God doesn't send revival if He doesn't have a church that is mature enough to take care of it.
That's right.
I want revival. I have never, when we first came here, we've not had a revival in 6 years we've been here. But over the past year, I believe God, and even talked with Denise about God leading us to have a revival. And I'm praying about it. But I need a church full of mature people that are ready to take in the hurting, know how to bandage wounds, know how to pray for people, know how to we need that. We need that. Because it does us no good to have a revival if people come in here and we put Band-Aids on open wounds and they leave here with a Band-Aid bleed out there.
That's right. Amen.
My prayer for everyone in here is that you begin to make decisions toward maturity in Christ. What He wants to do in your life. Because I'm telling you, and this is not to get on the ball because I understand when you get caught up in the moment, you start saying stuff. But I'm going to go back on one thing. Where Bob said it doesn't matter what you say about yourself, it's what He says about yourself. I agree with that to a point, but I do believe it matters what you say about yourself. I'll tell you why. Because the 40 minutes I preach to you does not compare to preaching you do to yourself every day. And if you tell yourself you're one way long enough, guess what's going to happen?
You'll believe it.
You're going to be that way. That's not scolding. Bob knows that. I've got up here and I've said something and I thought, that wasn't right. Hope nobody caught it. But it does, because we speak to ourselves. And yet God may say, you're His child, and grow up. But as long as we're thinking, well, God's okay with this, and we're telling ourselves that, well, He's patient with you. Heads bowed. Maybe you're here today. You realize that, man, it's not that God's okay with what you've been doing, what you've been saying, where you've been going and all that, but it's His patience with you that you've been living under. And today you want to go from patience and grace to His blessing and grace. And God has shown you some things that need to change in your life for you to make better decisions and to grow in Him, become mature. And you say, PK, I want to grow in Christ. Man, I want to become mature in Christ. I want to make better decisions because I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of blaming others for where I'm at, and I want to grow and mature in Christ. If that's you, heads bowed, eyes closed. If that's you, just raise your hand. Oh man, all over the place. Father, right now, you see every hand that was raised. Place a hunger deep inside of them. God, were they even the smallest decisions, they start weighing them out. Is this going to lead me toward Christ or away? And God, as they begin to grow in you, mature in you, God, we would begin, I'm telling you, church, I believe that when we, myself included, begin to mature in Christ, We're going to see the supernatural take place in this place. We're going to see miracles. We're going to see healings. We're going to see revival come. God, grow us up. Come on, church, just pray that. Grow us up. Grow us up, God. Give us a hunger for you more than we've got for those childish ways. Grow us up, God. Put a desire, a desperation inside of us for you. Let us want you more than we want these childish things.
That's right.
Lord, to be responsible for our choices, to be responsible for our relationships, to grow in you, Jesus.
That's right.
God, that's what I pray for. Not only those that raise their hand, but every person in here. God, listen, it's not that you don't want to send revival, but you're waiting on us to be ready for revival. I feel led to go this route just right before we close. Heads bowed, I suppose if you're here and you say, Kelly, I don't even have a relationship with Jesus. I've never surrendered my life to Jesus. I've just been living my life the way I want to. But today I want to surrender completely to Him. And I want to start this process of becoming mature in Christ. And today I just want to surrender my life to Him. If that's you, just raise your hand. I'm not going to embarrass you. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? I'm going to pray for you right where you. Yes, sir. In the back, I see you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Praise God. That is awesome. That is awesome. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to pray a prayer. I'm going to ask you to repeat it after me. And you're not going to repeat it alone because it's Watts Bar family. Because you belong. You belong. You're part. You're going to be God's child. Completely His. And they're going to pray this right along with you. And Watts Bar, pray it loud for them to let them know you're not alone. Dear Jesus.
Dear Jesus.
Thank you.
Thank you
for loving me. Right where I am. Today. I ask that you would forgive me for all my sins. Past, present, future. They're yours. And today, I surrender all. My heart, my life, my soul, my mind to you. And I receive your salvation. In Jesus' name. Amen. Before we close this out, if you raise your hand, do me a huge favor. There's a Connect card in that seat back. Just fill it out and let us know what happened. Put your email on there. Because we're going to reach out to you, help you grow. If you don't have a Bible, you come to us in the back, we'll get you a Bible today.
Come on.
We want to help you grow. We're not about just getting people saved. We're about making disciples.
Amen.
Guys, God bless you. And me and my wife, if you're new, we'll be in the back and we would love to meet you. Don't forget Wednesday nights. Connect somebody. When you're teaching Wednesday night, right? It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be great. Come out 7 p.m. Also, something we don't talk about a lot is Project 836. It is our recovery group. And it's not just for addicts. It's for anybody that's got a hang-up, a problem, temper, anger. Listen, come out and get a part of a community that can help you. That knows where you walk. My brother Casey is part of that. He is sober now how long? A year, 10 months. After a 15-year plus, 20-year addiction, God set him free. And I'm so proud of him and what God did.